Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 129. Tonight, was it written by a real person or by an AI? We play a game where we guess reviews for video games that were generated called Was It an AI? Plus answering your community submitted questions. We're talking all of that and more. Fellow Nintendo Pals. My name is Andross, and I'm one of the hosts of the Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. And I am joined by my pal, my fellow host, and best friend, Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, I gotta ask, what is your favorite piece of clothing that you own?
This shirt.
Really?
Maybe. It's a pretty good chance.
I do like your shirt that says this shirt is brighter than your future. It's like a
that
neon,
is a pretty good one.
Neon yellow one. This is an interesting question. What is your favorite piece of clothing you own?
Yeah, but as time has gone on and the color has kind of faded on that shirt, it's gotten more and more insulting. It used to be super, super bright, but now it's just kind of bright.
Like, oh, that's rude of you to say. That shirt's not very bright. I am a big fan of the Zelda hoodie that we got from the Nintendo New York store. It's like definitely the most comfortable hoodie I have ever owned. And I also like the sweats that we got there. I'm trying to think like my favorite. There is a shirt that I have that is so thin that it almost doesn't feel like you're wearing a shirt. And that is very comfortable. It's loose.
Almost
it's
sounds
loose
terrible.
No, it breathes. That's how it feels.
Sounds horrifying from a shirt.
Well, I'm not describing it well. And then lastly, I will shout out the Pokemon Trainer Red hat that I have had for many years. I got from my little brother. It is awesome.
Let's just be picking one. Wow.
It is awesome. Well, that's one outfit. Where all of those things
I don't
together.
think they said outfit though.
Okay, favorite piece of clothing at the moment's probably that hoodie. It's just so comfortable. So comfortable. I'm probably forgetting some really awesome clothes.
I mean, I do have the shirt of Gizmo from Gremlins, and that one's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got good shirts. Yeah. I haven't seen you wear that Zelda one we got you. The Link in Park.
I worn it a couple times. I think I've worn it on stream at some point once.
Classy shirt. It's so good. So good. Well, why don't we jump into the first segment of our show and let's talk. Oh, wait. Before we do that, I forgot that we have to talk about something. We have to talk about something, Micah. The same thing that we talk about at the beginning of every episode. Do you know what we're doing tonight?
Yep.
What are we doing then? You just get, yeah, I do.
Well, we always do at the beginning of these. Duh.
That is try to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts. And Micah, I just realized as well that I've messed up everything by not asking how you're doing. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we can't go an episode without that. We did last episode, actually. I forgot to ask you that.
Rookie mistake.
Okay. 5-star reviews is how we take over the world. I'm jumping around here a little bit, but stay with me, people. 5-star reviews is how we take over the world of Nintendo podcasts. That's right. You can leave us a 5-star review on many platforms. Audible, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser. All of those places help boost us in the algorithms. and help move us up in the ranks of Nintendo podcasts. Listen, okay, I don't want to smack talk too much here. I did that on stream yesterday when we were streaming, but the top Nintendo podcasts needs some love. It needs some more pals. So we need to get up there in the top 3, because the current top ones, I don't know if they're that great. But there are a lot of amazing podcasts out there about Nintendo, and we have a lot of friends that do Nintendo podcasts. So all of you friends that are listening, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those other guys. Those other guys. You know who you are. All right, let's not bash on any other shows here, and let's move to the first segment of our show. Let's talk what you making. Micah, anything you want to highlight that you have been making lately or doing?
Nope.
Truck tester.
I did. I guess I did move a piano today.
Nice. Oh, you did stream also. I feel like there was something that you were just. Oh yes. Remind me to tell you about what we're doing Thursday. But yes. So your streams over at Micah Prime. How have those been going?
So good.
They've been
last
priming.
Thursday was the first time I streamed in like a month or something.
Really? Has it been that long?
It's been at least 2 weeks. Because I just forgot last week, and I'm pretty sure I was busy the week before, and then before that was all the Christmas crazy stuff.
Yeah. So you're still waiting for that giant comeback with our 38,000 live viewers.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Nice. I am still plugging away at the YouTube video for the Zelda, but if I say Link, wax my legs. The video is super close to done. I just want to add subtitles to it, and there's not really an easy way to do that that matches with what I am saying. So I'm gonna have to do that kind of frame by frame, unfortunately. And so that's the last part of that, and then that will be up, ready to go up on the YouTube channel, and then I am working on 3 other videos. We have our fantastic content manager, Muggles Moo, who is making, who actually did the bulk of the editing for the leg waxing stream video, is now working on AI invasion for Pokemon. So Micah and I did a stream of that when you were here in person. We did that together, and the video for that is looking like it's going to be awesome. So that will be coming. There's also an AI invasion stream for Mario that I am editing for World of Mario, and Zelda Touchgrass. So I've got a lot of video projects in the works. And then on top of that, I am planning on launching more fully into doing TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and probably Instagram Reels as well. Just kind of hit all those platforms with that style of video. I'm going to be taking existing videos I have and sort of doing highlights of those. They're already kind of formatted perfectly for it. Take, for example, my Halloween video I did last year, where I did a Halloween challenge, and every time I changed the challenge, I changed into a new Halloween costume. Each of those can be broken down into like 1-minute segments, like each challenge. So that just will pair really nicely. It's just finding the time to make all of these edits. A lot of projects in the works. And my enemy is time. Just finding the time to do it all. Plus, we got the podcast going 2 episodes per week. Oh, hey, we have Sean here in chat. Welcome, Sean Capri, the Sean Capri of the Nintendo Drive. Everybody should check out that show. Also great content. So yeah, in addition to all that, I'm streaming every Tuesday is my plan. And this last week I streamed, and I'm probably going to turn this into a video as well. Buying $1 eShop games and playing them to completion. So I need to play more games though, because 3 is not enough to really fill. I think
it
feel
is if you show all those
show
paper bad ending screens where they're giving you your money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that could be a whole hour-long video by itself.
You should actually splice all those together and just make that a video.
Like a short? That would actually be pretty good.
It wouldn't be that short. I'm pretty sure it'd be
No.
like 20 minutes.
So yeah, I would have to like speed up the section where we waited for like
No, you
5
just keep
minutes.
it. You just keep it real time and make it a separate video, and it's
so
that's
bad.
it.
It was so bad.
It could be some sort of ASMR for people or something.
But Micah, I have now set up so that I can do Pokemon randomizers.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited to try that out. I'm also wanting to try out their map randomizer for that. So I want to see if I can just like, how much can I randomize? Can I just go all in? Like nothing is in the right spot? How crazy can it get? I think that would be a lot of fun to play. Anywho, that's what I've been making. What do you say we jump into the second segment of the show? Let's answer community questions in the community corner. Hey, in the community corner, we ask you to ask us questions. Actually, we don't. You guys just ask us questions, and we greatly appreciate it. First question, Micah, you can take this one from Presto.
The classic question.
Actually,
what was the best game?
He didn't actually ask this. Nobody actually asked this week.
Presto, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, but we'll answer it because it's now tradition. I feel like we can't break.
At some point, they kind of just assume
that we're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Go ahead with the question.
From not Presto, what was the best game that came out in 2008? I feel like there actually weren't that many great games that came out in 2008.
I'm about to be really offended, I think.
Have you not looked at these?
No, I haven't yet.
Well, I have a winner. But first, I got a couple honorable mentions.
Yeah, I mean, I have a winner too. Our winner's going to be the same, I think.
What's the first letter of your winner?
S.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions.
Or maybe B, if you're...
Yeah. Mario Kart Wii, honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to mention it. It's got the wheel. It's awesome. But one that people might not have heard about, Boom Blocks. Another honorable mention.
Boom Blocks is actually pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just, for the most part, it's like Jenga tower sort of stuff, and you're throwing things to knock them down for the most part. But they have quite a few different like game modes in there. It's a blast. But my winner of 2008 is Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
That is my winner as well. I'm sorry, I can't give it to any other game. Micah and I played so much Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That is probably our most played game ever. I think if we were to like total all the time we've played all video games in our life, Brawl got the most.
Definitely, yeah.
Probably
definitely be a lot.
Second place being Fortnite.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was high school for us, man. Like that was our our game time. We like played so much Brawl. Well, I want to throw out some honorable mentions as well. We got Wii Music.
I should have known.
I'm just kidding. I'm not putting that on my honorable mentions. A serious honorable mention, Pokemon Platinum, which is a fantastic game, Gen 4, and it basically enhances the previous two versions with Diamond and Pearl, combining them to make I think they did a better job with the story. There's more Pokemon, better balancing, just all around a good third version of a Pokemon game. Yeah. Back when they did those.
Also honorable mention to Chrono Trigger. I mean, it's for the DS version, so.
But still, yeah.
That's why I didn't add it in originally. So I'm pretty sure I've already said Chrono Trigger, the original.
And then I am going to be like, this is a goofy pick, but I'm going to be serious with this a little bit. I'm seriously honorable mentioning this. Wii Ski. Which my siblings and
Whiskey?
Wii Ski. This was like capitalizing on the Wii brand, but without using it. They actually just called it WESKI. Wii Ski.
Wow.
Yeah, well, because it's not Nintendo. This was made by, gosh, who makes this game?
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, yeah, this is Bandai Namco.
What?
Yep. And you could use your Miis in it. And you could also use the Wii Balance Board to do the skiing. The game is not good. It's not that good. But it had some really fun elements to it, and my siblings and I had so much fun playing it. You basically are on a vacation, and you can take the ski lifts up to different points, and you're playing on this mountain, and each of the like you can just go and play, just ride around, kind of like free roaming, or you can do challenges, and there are different NPCs you can talk to that will give you challenges. Probably our favorite thing to do was to find the photographer, and he would take your picture, and then you could look at all your photos in a photo album. And we had our Miis. We were excited. Our Miis were on a vacation, going skiing, things we never actually did in real life. We're sad. No, I just had a lot of fun with it with my siblings. So that's my honorable mention. But yeah, Smash Bros. Brawl. Next question from Presto. He asked us several questions this week, but not that one. Which do you think would win in a fight, Mario or Sonic? It's Mario. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Presto. Mario's going to win this fight. Listen. Like, Mario he's just too powerful. He can jump so high. He's super strong. And his power-up arsenal is so much better than Sonic's. But I think even with all the power-ups aside, Mario's just a better fighter.
Base Mario and base Sonic would win.
I don't know. God.
I mean, I feel like they're mostly the same, but Sonic is just faster. He can spin way faster than Mario can spin. Mario's got that little roll, and it's like kind of slow. Sonic has a roll that's really fast.
Yeah, Mario also has like a spin attack.
Sonic also has a spin attack, but it spins faster.
He's got punches.
Sonic can also punch,
but faster. Yeah,
but faster. Exactly.
I feel like Sonic's speed might take it in a fight. I don't know. I feel like Mario's just really tough. Mario can take quite the wailing on.
Can he though? A Goomba slowly walks into him, and he's half dead. Assuming he wasn't already half dead, or else he'd be full dead.
That's like in that one game. But in that same logic, Sonic dies when anything touches him. And
not
water.
Necessarily. He just drops coins.
Yeah. And then if he doesn't have coins, he dies instantly.
Yeah.
To everything.
So that's the question though, because he could have like 100 coins and he just picks up coins.
Yeah, I don't know. This is an even fight.
Essentially base Mario, which I'm counting a mushroom Mario, at most has 2 hits. Sonic at most has like 17 hits or whatever. Because you always lose some coins.
Yeah,
Sonic it's probably closer to more like 5 or something.
Sonic also has the problem of he has a superpower essentially of super speed that varies wildly depending on what circumstances he's in.
Yeah.
So a little hard to determine, but I pick Mario in this fight. Sounds like you're leaning more Sonic.
Oh, I think base Mario and base Sonic, but Mario does have more power-ups.
So if power-ups are involved,
using between Star Mario and Super Sonic.
I don't think that's the comparison we make here. We go Ultra Super Saiyan Cat Mario against Super Sonic because they have the same hair, and I think Cat Mario for sure wins because he's huge.
We learned from Dragon Ball Z that being huge isn't all that matters.
Yeah.
In fact, their future Saiyan forms, they get smaller again. Their muscles are more compact.
Yeah.
So Sonic, by that logic, Super Sonic's muscles are very compact.
Because he's got little stick arms.
Needle arms and needle legs.
Yeah, but Invincibility Star, I don't know. Invincibility Star, what happens if an Invincibility Star hits Sonic? Because it kills everything, right?
Super Sonic is also essentially invincible, is he not?
Yeah.
At least in the games. Depending on And once again, depends on how many coins Sonic has. If he's gonna run out of his ability before the start.
True. Yeah. So who would win in a fight? I pick Mario. That's it. Okay. Next question.
We are now the new owners of Nintendo because reasons.
Nice. I
What's
like it.
the first decision you announce?
Okay, I have an instant answer to this. All of our video game soundtracks will be made available for purchase and also for listening to via Spotify and Pandora, all the music service apps. We are opening the floodgates. Music for all.
Nice, that's a good one.
Yep.
I announced that we are restarting the development of Tears of the Kingdom.
You monster!
Just so everyone can feel
You betrayed us.
The agony of being a Prime fan.
We'll never forgive
You
you.
will understand my suffering.
We'll never forgive you. A terrible answer. Is that what you're going to stick with? Or can I give you a chance to redeem yourself? Okay, well, there you go. It is
we're
once and for all.
We're only going to be making Metroid Prime games from now on.
Such a terrible decision.
All games are Metroid Prime.
Such a terrible decision.
We'll be at Metroid Prime 9 by the end of next year.
Okay. 4 important reasons. This is another one from Presto. What's your best pickup line? I got nothing for you, Presto.
They said my princess was in another castle, but it looks like you're right here.
Did you just Google that?
I Googled that earlier today. That was easily the best one I came across.
Oh man, that's so good. I gotta find one, man. 18 Nintendo pickup lines.
Most of them are so bad.
Yeah, these are.
This one I don't even understand. I feel like I'm probably actually just not going to say, just in case it has some weird meaning I don't understand.
Yeah, I think I see the exact one you're looking at, and I'm like, these are so terrible. Don't use Nintendo pickup lines.
Is your name Hitmonchan? Because you're a knockout. That's probably the second best, and that's not good.
I love you so much. My heart is Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or then they even suggest you can, if you want a more evolved love, you can say Ivysaur or Venusaur.
Oh, I like this one. Will you be my S support? Good Fire Emblem. Good Fire Emblem reference. Oh, that's so good. Just call me Donkey Kong because I'm bananas about you.
Yeah,
how about this one, Micah? I must be Mario because when I first saw you, I shouted, "Wahoo!"
Wahoo! Yeah, so we're definitely looking at the same list.
It's so bad.
Us dating will be the greatest crossover since Super Smash Bros.
Oh my gosh. Oh, did you use your boo item on me in Mario Kart? Because I think it flew over and stole my heart. Oh my gosh. Well, a new world has opened up to me. I'll be using these all on my wife.
That's not how it goes.
Let us know how it goes. I'll report back next week. Okay, next one.
What's better, Pokemon Platinum or Mario Galaxy?
This is in direct response to last week's. I think I'm gonna have to go Mario Galaxy. I think is what I gotta go with here.
Yeah, easy decision for me. Platinum is great, but it's no Mario Galaxy.
What do you think what if we subbed out Heart Gold, Soul Silver?
They would be closer. I think I'd still probably have to give it to Mario Galaxy. Maybe.
I would have a much harder time. I think I'd go Pokemon in that one. 'Cause that's like top tier Pokemon game. I don't think Mario Galaxy is the best in the series.
Well, not since Odyssey came out.
Yeah, I think Odyssey is better. I guess Galaxy's probably number 2. So so there you have it. All right. Next question comes from Monkey Thunder. Predictions for the next Direct. My guess is the second week of February, the 7th through 9th. The 7th through the 9th. So I'm guessing that, given the context that he answers with a date, I think he wants to know the date, not our predictions for what's going to be in it. So if you want that, you'll have to ask that next week, Monkey Thunder. My predictions for when it will be.
I think his prediction is that it will be like multiple days long. It will start on the 7th and end on the 9th.
I think it will be...
That'd be awesome.
When's Valentine's Day?
I don't know. Sometime.
That's the 14th. So I think it will be the 16th. Right after Valentine's Day.
I'm going to go bold here and say the first week of March.
That's not too bold, I think.
Oh, I think it's way bold because I didn't even think about my answer. I just decided, hey, the 1st of March sounds good.
Okay.
For reasons unknown.
We usually get one in February, but Nintendo likes to, not do the expected thing at all. So, yeah, I think...
Well, yeah, which is why the wait until right after February has ended.
It's going to be the first. They're going to be like, got him, but they didn't get you, Micah.
Nope.
You knew.
I'm one step ahead.
All right, what's our next question?
By Purple Riolu, I'm going to be embarking on a long road trip for the 3rd time in just this month. So I've had a lot of road trip snacks lately, which got me thinking, what is your favorite road trip snack?
I am a big fan of trail mix. Trail mix is always a good go-to for this kind of thing. It was mentioned in Discord. I think it was Monkey Thunder mentioned Peach O rings, and yeah, that's the only time I think I've ever had Peach O rings. I never just get those. Those are only for road trips. So that, and then growing up, we'd always get sodas for the road trips to help keep you awake if you were doing a long drive. So that would be like one of the only times we'd drink like a caffeinated soda. But I don't do soda anymore, like at all. Usually gives me an upset stomach. So I'm just like, avoid it. So probably now would be Blue Powerade. Blue Powerade actually was always a road trip thing for us because when we'd do trips, we'd stop at McDonald's and we would always get Blue Powerade because my parents didn't want us to have soda for like the whole trip. That contradicts itself because that contradicts the thing I said earlier about soda. When we went with Mom, we got soda. When we went with Dad, it was Blue Powerade. Yeah, my parents were divorced growing up, so I had road trips with different experiences. So yeah, those probably be my go-to. I'm a big crunchy snack fan, so I like.
You just like candy get real old then. All candy can be crunchy.
Gross. Nope. I'm going with like chippy type snacks. Chex Mix, Trail Mix. Any mixes are great.
I just got to go with the classic Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, that's a good answer. Yeah.
Because they also kind of help you stay awake with their sourness.
True. We started doing this thing with our kids for plane rides where we bought these, I think they were like trays for beads for like arts and crafts.
Oh yeah.
But we filled each of the pockets with different snacks. And the kids loved that. So we do that on big trips.
That's a good idea.
Get a variety of stuff. Just a variety is nice. Thank you so much for the question, Purple Riolu. Next question comes from Maddie Beth. What is your favorite thing about the original Legend of Zelda?
It's dangerous to go alone.
I was going to say that.
Take this sword.
It's a secret to everybody. I mean, it starts all these things. I think one of the greatest things about that game is it pioneers the exploration game, right? And you're going around this big, huge, it's a huge world, especially for the time, going around and exploring, and you have to like solve puzzles on this giant overworld, and then you do dungeons. It really is laying the foundation for what the rest of the series follows after, except that they didn't really have open world designs again until, I guess, Wind Waker's probably the next closest. And then Breath of the Wild's probably the closest comparison that you can make, where it's just like, we're not going to hold your hand. You just go out and you're just going to have to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And that's how the game was. What's wild is you can just skip that first room. You don't have to go get the sword. You can just go run around. And
not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Usually, though.
You do have a shield. Pacifist run.
Good luck.
Except you can't do anything, so you die. Yeah. That's my favorite thing about the game, is just that sense of exploration. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your turn. Ask a question, Micah.
Speaking of my turn, Mugglesmoo asks, what is the thing you dislike the most about your favorite games?
Okay. Breath of the Wild. I think that the lack of a more concrete story, it was very light on the story side. But what it did,
really light on the story side.
But what it did really well. I did like the flashbacks and like finding out what happened 100 years ago and then now, but it just didn't feel quite as in-depth as previous Zelda games, especially looking at a game like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. I mean, there's like a long narrative that goes through that whole thing, and I think they're going to fix that with Tears of the Kingdom. I think it seems like it based off the trailers, right? Like Breath of the Wild was like, hey, this game's all about exploration, and so they've done that.
Now, like that. I mean, that's part of the story was that you had to try and figure out what happened.
Yeah.
So I think the way of like piecing it together with the memories, like, fit what they were going for really well.
Yeah.
Even though it did kind of leave it light on the story, but I thought it worked.
I don't know. This is a terrible comparison to make, but like a game like Skyrim, where there was like a really good narrative plot going through, and then all the side quests have really cool, like, unique stories. That is lacking in Breath of the Wild. I think like the side quests are super light. The game is very much focusing on the gameplay and exploration, which it nails 10 out of 10. But I think it falls a little bit short in the story side of things. There are people that I've heard that were disappointed that it didn't have more in-depth dungeons like previous Zelda games. I don't know if I necessarily miss those. Like
after playing Ocarina of Time, I was like, maybe dungeons aren't as good as I remember them being.
Yeah, I think they're just
too long. But then I played Wind Waker, and I was like, wow, these dungeons are awesome. So who knows?
Yeah, but I recently played Wind Waker and recently played chunks of Ocarina of Time and other Zelda games, and it's just like, these are much longer.
I kind of like how bite-sized the shrines were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they take all the best parts of dungeons, like the puzzles and whatnot, and then just break them up into smaller.
Yes. Yeah. And I kind of like that. I know that's not for everybody, and power to you. Yeah, your opinion, but I think that what they did worked. Now, there wasn't as much variety in the design By design, I mean the look of those. The
So, like,
shrines
yeah.
all look the same, and I think that's a fault. If they had just changed how the interior looked on them, there were some shrines where you go into and there'd be like really green, foresty type stuff. That was like, wow, this is so different. Like in previous Zelda games, every dungeon has a very unique look.
Yeah.
And it feels super handcrafted and designed there. This felt mass produced. Like, okay. Boop, boop, boop.
Ah.
Like
But it kind of makes sense because they're all the same things ish.
Mhm. Yeah,
Which is very convenient for Nintendo making them.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'll say, and that Breath of the Wild is by far my favorite game. So that's the one.
I gotta say something real quick about Breath of the Wild. Weapon durability. I didn't like how your weapons became so durable. I thought some of the best part of that combat was
you're coming in with
your weapons.
Oh,
hot take here.
Yeah. No, this is not a hot take. I 100% agree. And all these people that complain about weapon durability need to just take a hike. That is a cool mechanic. I don't care. I don't care that you guys didn't like it.
It's so fun having a fight and you just chuck like 3 weapons in the middle of it. Like someone's coming up to surround you, you just quickly turn, your weapon's getting kind of low, so you might as well just chuck it and have it break and do double damage and get back to fighting the other dude who's next to you.
The point of that is that it forces you to try new things, to try new strategies, to try new weapons. You can't, because if you get like the unbreakable weapon, you're never going to swap from the one that you think is your favorite. And this game forces you, in I think a fun way, to try new things. So sorry to everybody that doesn't like that. That is a huge complaint. I see it everywhere. But I think that needs to stay. It's good. I think that it's not annoying until you get into these places where you're fighting a boss and your weapons all break.
Your weapons break.
Yeah.
But then that only happens with like the trial of the sword kind of a thing. That like never happens, especially later on in the game when you're getting all these like modifiers that make them more durable.
Exactly.
It's like weapons never break.
Exactly.
I'm always dropping weapons. Well, sometimes I just check them because I'm like full, but it just doesn't have that same effect when they don't break.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun thing. I think it was a good implementation. What do you got for this, Micah? Favorite game?
My favorite, I mean, to be kind of general. The thing I hate about all my favorite games is that they're not longer.
That's such a dumb cop-out answer.
That's not a cop-out answer. That's criticism. The truth. That's the truth.
Give us a real criticism on what's there.
What's there is
what game are you going to pick?
Longer things.
Your favorite game of all time?
I can't pick a favorite game of all time.
Is it Metroid Prime?
Probably not. There's so many games it could be.
Could be Breath of the Wild.
Nobody even knows. It could be.
Give us a fault for Metroid Prime. I want a fault.
It's not long enough.
Besides that,
it's too short.
That's the same thing.
There aren't more bosses and enemies and areas to explore.
Well, Micah, don't worry. I've got some stuff for Metroid Prime, but that's coming later.
I also got some stuff for Metroid Prime. And Ocarina of Time, huh?
Yep. I've got some good ones for you, Micah. I think this question is specifically trying to get you to admit that your games are not perfect, and you refuse. So
I never said my games are perfect.
Oh, well then what's wrong with them?
Just more perfect than your favorite games.
Yeah.
The one fault they have is they're not longer.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, anybody out there asking questions, feel free to get more specific with this to make Micah answer things for future episodes. I'm cool with that. I'm willing to say what I don't like about games that I enjoy. Besides that they're not long.
What about Ocarina of Time? Do you have something about that real quick?
It's been a good chunk since I played Ocarina of Time.
A good easy answer is dialogue speed.
But yeah, I would say that dialogue speed, and sort of the lack of things to do in Hyrule Field, the connecting field area. Like, people complain about Breath of the Wild being like large empty areas. How could you complain about that compared to Ocarina of Time's Hyrule Field, where there's just nothing there? You've got Lon Lon Ranch in the middle. It's really just like a too big connecting hub. It was to showcase, look how big this can be, but when you can't do much with it, it's a bit of a bummer. Where Breath of the Wild, I feel like the open fields, like, there's something to do everywhere in Breath of the Wild. Even like the big empty field areas, there's going to be things you can find and do. There's Korok puzzles all over. There's enemies to fight, things to harvest. Like, even the large grassy fields, you shoot the grass with fire, and you can fly higher. And I don't know, there's just a lot of new discoveries. And you're not backtracking all that much in Breath of the Wild, like, ever.
Yeah, there's too much stuff. Plus, you can fast travel.
Where every previous Zelda game, there's usually a fair amount of backtracking, right? Like, Ocarina of Time, it's a main mechanic. You travel back to places that you went to as Kid Link, as Adult Link. But even as Kid Link, you're going back and forth across Hyrule Field over and over and over again. And I found that when I played it recently, I just did the backwards running because it was faster. There's not much to see or do in there. Anywho, there you go. Ocarina of Time.
Nice. I'm gonna save that clip. You bashing on Ocarina of Time. I got you.
Oh, you got me. Next question, last question, comes from Solo Something. What color hair would you rather Link have? And what hairstyle? What do you pick for this, Micah?
I think his current hair color and style is A-OK.
The, like, longish?
The longish.
Breath of the Wild hair?
Mm-hmm. And probably blonde-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like in Four Swords? They do this in Four Swords? Definitely.
Actually, I take it back. Wind Waker hair needs to come back.
They definitely do it in the Triforce Heroes, where they give each Link the color hair of the tunic they're wearing. So, like, a green-haired, green tunic Link, that's pretty fun. I like that. So that would be fun. I don't know if that would work well with the Breath of the Wild style. Anything but the Fire Emblem red and blue hair thing, says Falcon in chat. Yeah, that is kind of... people don't like that. I don't hate it. I don't hate it like other people do, but I don't think it looks necessarily great. Like, it's to celebrate the Switch Joy-Cons, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. It would be fun if you could change his hair color in Breath of the Wild, just to whatever you want.
That would be interesting.
Some customization, because you can customize his outfits, and if you give him the different amiibo hats, he'll have the hairstyle of the Link from that era. So you actually can get the Wind Waker hair. It looks a little weird, I think, on adult Breath of the Wild Link.
I think you're crazy.
My favorite looking Link was Twilight Princess.
Figures you'd say that.
Figures. I just like his style. Looked really good. And I like that armor set in Breath of the Wild too. It's a cool one. Okay. Well, that's it for questions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted questions this week. Hopefully we answered them to your liking. If you want to ask us questions, you can reach out to us on social medias or hit us up in Discord. But now we got to jump into the PAL topic. And today's pal topic, we're playing Was It an AI? Micah and I have each prepared reviews. We have 3 games, each with 3 reviews. 2 of the reviews are real, but one of them was generated by Chat GPT. So, who can guess more? So the goal is which one of these was the AI. You have to guess which one was the AI, and whoever can guess more wins. They are the true human that knows.
Is that how that works? Or are we also the AI because we can recognize our own?
We can recognize. Yeah, we recognize our own. This is about beating the artificial intelligence.
I have a feeling you're going to be really good at this, and I'm not going to be that good at this.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. So, do you want to go first, or should I go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
Bring this over here so I'm not looking up to the side.
So the way we're going to do this is we're going to read out the reviews to each other, and then the person will have to guess which one was real or which one was fake. This is kind of getting into some interesting territory here because based off of what I generated, Micah, game reviewers better count their days, man, because the AI wrote just as good or better reviews than what real people wrote. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So is this ethical? I don't know. That's not what we're answering here with this question. Yeah. We that's too serious of a topic for this show. What we're doing here is playing a game about it.
Yeah. Sorry if I looked confused for the last 30 seconds. I somehow accidentally started some read aloud thing. So my computer was reading things to me off of our Twitch page. I was so confused what was happening.
You're good. All right, what's the first one, Micah?
Ocarina of Time.
Okay. Hey, guess what? That's my first one for you too.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Featuring unparalleled 3D environments, a deep and involved quest, brilliant and intuitive play controls, and a well-developed cinematic quality that enhances rather than overwhelms the whole game experience. Miyamoto's classic title deserves to be played by each and every person who might deign to consider themselves a fan of great games.
Ooh, that sounded very AI to me up until they started going Miyamoto's classic. And I was like, I don't know if the AI would be that smart, or would it? Because you can prompt it to say things like,
which I did find out at the very beginning when we were starting this episode, huh? Have you seen me typing away at stuff? Maybe changing some things up.
You were really getting it going. All right, give me the second review.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is a game that is highly overrated by many. While the game was groundbreaking for its time, it has not aged well. The graphics and character models look dated.
This is the fake one.
And the game's combat system is clunky and unresponsive. The game's story is also uninteresting, with a generic save the princess plot. That's in quotes. The game's puzzles are also not as challenging as they should be, making the game feel easy and unengaging. The game's open world is also not as large or diverse as it could be. Overall, while Ocarina of Time may have been a great game in its time, it has not aged well, and it is not worth playing today.
Oh my gosh. That has to be the fake one, right?
Oh,
Did you just put in?
Does it?
Did a real person say this besides you? No way.
Well, let me go ahead and read this next one for you.
Oh no.
Ocarina of Time was unfun, tedious, poorly paced, and plotted, and at times very cringeworthy. Despite this, the game garnered many perfect reviews when it came out, much of it likely hinging on the novelty of a 3D Zelda game, and is considered by many to be one of the best Zelda games ever made. If it was ever actually good to begin with, it did not age well at all. I love that ending. If it was ever actually good to begin with, it did not age well at all. The question is, what sort of mind games am I playing on?
Yeah, did you make the
by
AI
putting one positive and two negative?
Yeah, you put in one positive review, and that one's going to be the AI one to prove that only AI. That sounds like you, but maybe
That
you
doesn't
know.
sound like me. I wouldn't bring that up if that's what I was thinking, though. That sounds crazy.
Okay, I am going to guess number 2 is the AI generated one.
Yep, it was number 2.
Oh, it was just so. It was bashing on it hard. What did you tell the AI to write?
Ocarina of Time review, your best. And it was like, we hate it so much, obviously. No, I think I wrote short negative Ocarina of Time review.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
all I had to do.
It brought up points that I think not even you bring up. And I was like, this seems like this is overly so. The third one felt way too human. They were like,
yeah.
Like, I don't feel like an AI would say something like, if it was ever fun to begin with. That was someone who was salty.
I did like how both endings were pretty similar, though.
Yeah, they were. They were.
Well, they may have been great in its time, it has not aged well. And
All
if
right.
it's ever good to begin with.
Well, I have for you 3 Ocarina of Time reviews. And this may be a problem because you may have seen these while looking for negative reviews.
That would actually be really funny.
Okay, here we go. First review. There's a reason that The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is widely regarded as one of the greatest video games ever created, and it won't take you long to discover why that is. The game takes everything that was great about the Zelda series and somehow manages to bring it all into a 3D world without a single hitch on the first try. Not only that, but the developers also managed to add enough new elements to make the game truly stand out from the previous releases in the series beyond the extra dimension. Ocarina of Time is honestly as close...
Wait, what? Oh, I see. I like spaced out for a split second. I was like, what are you talking about, an extra dimension?
Oh, yeah, you know? Ocarina of Time is honestly as close to video game perfection as you can get, and an absolute must-play for any video game fan.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
number
good.
1. Number 2. In a way, Ocarina of Time is a textbook example of retro done right. It manages to combine small aspects from all the previous Zelda games, giving you the same Zelda feel, but in an entirely new way. Even in its huge, fiercely 3D world, the game retains a truly classic feel. This is a sequel at its finest, expanding on previous themes and bringing plenty of new stuff to the table. Even if you're specifically looking for it, it's hard to find fault in Ocarina of Time. Okay, to be fair, there's a slight bit of slowdown in a couple locations, such as the Water Temple, but it isn't frequent or harmful enough to even matter. The game offers a nice challenge, a stunningly well-told story, and gameplay to back it all up. The game is the real thing.
That almost sounds like someone trying too hard.
Number 3. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is a true classic in the world of video games. It's like a fine wine. It just gets better with age. The game's open-world design and puzzle-solving gameplay make for an incredibly immersive experience. The story is engaging, the characters are likable, and the music is unforgettable. The combat system is intuitive and satisfying. The game's use of the Ocarina of Time both as a gameplay mechanic and storytelling device is masterful. Overall, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is a must-play for any fan of the series or anyone looking for a timeless gaming experience. So, is it...
That last one is ordered almost exactly like one of the AI ones I did.
Oh.
The way it lists them out is, I'm pretty sure, even in the same order, and it makes me want to pick that one so bad. But what was that? Your second review was talking about how it was a retro game done right?
Yep.
That doesn't even make sense.
Is it Ocarina of Time? Well, all of these reviews are written from a modern perspective. I did not pull from like time relevant Ocarina of Time. I pulled from recent reviews.
I did a mix.
Yeah. So they're all written from the perspective of going back and playing it today. So yeah,
That was a good way to do it.
Number one.
Maybe I just also read that review. That third one is just standing out to me so hard right now, and
you're gonna pick the third?
feel like I'm not right. I feel like you just like, hey, say something about wine in there and how it aged well or something. But I'm just gonna go with number 3.
You're right. It's the AI one. I told it to use a fun analogy. That's that.
I knew it, but it was ordered so AI-like because I swear it mentioned all those things through the list, like in the same order when I did it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I found that it was like, but it sounds so good. It sounds like a real.
And the fun
article.
Analogy stuff was so good.
Yeah, so what I told it to do was write a paragraph review of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, include a fun analogy. And it did that. You used like it's like a fine wine. It gets better with age. Like,
and it's stuff like it's good. Something was masterful. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like something an AI would say, but like the structure of it screamed AI to me for some reason.
All right. So we're tied. 1-1.
Yeah, not bad.
What do you got next?
Metroid Prime.
Oh man, should I skip ahead to my Metroid Prime?
Oh, definitely.
I picked Metroid Prime. Okay, I'll do that for mine.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
This one's so good. I'm excited.
Rain falling and bouncing off your gun. A blast of steam fogs your visor and leaves condensation on it. A bright flash of light lets you see your own reflection in the visor. These are just a few of the many effects that make Metroid Prime stand out above its peers. I nearly wet myself the first time I fired my weapon rapidly and noticed that heat waves came out of the barrel.
This isn't real. This isn't a real person. There's no way. There's no way. I gotta hear the rest of them. But this is so... It's like... Why did you have the AI write like an erotic fantasy review?
They were just so excited they wet their like.
I'm so excited I wet my pants. It's just they're just writing this like way too. Okay, go for it.
The next, from the amazingly polished gameplay design to the gorgeous visuals and atmospheric soundtrack, Metroid Prime is unquestionably a must-have masterpiece and a show horse that all forthcoming adventure titles will be judged by. Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so far I think it's one, but I have no other.
You think the AI would write that? Are you insane?
I think you prompted it to. You said like write the greatest review for Metroid Prime.
Well, I got one last one that might change your mind.
Okay.
Metroid Prime is a critically acclaimed first-person action adventure game that received universal acclaim upon its release.
Wait, did you read to me 2 reviews previously?
Yeah, those are 2.
Where was where did one end?
The first one ended after nearly wet myself the first time I fired my weapon rapidly and noticed the heat waves came out of the barrel.
Oh, okay.
That was the end of the first one.
Okay.
And then the second.
You just barreled into that. So I thought that was all one long review.
I thought the difference was jarring enough that you would notice.
Yeah, I should have. Because they went from crazy to normal.
I'll reread the second one then. From the amazingly polished gameplay design to the gorgeous visuals and atmospheric soundtrack, Metroid Prime is unquestionably a must-have masterpiece and a show horse that all forthcoming adventure titles will be judged by. Nice. And then the last one. Metroid Prime is a critically acclaimed first-person action adventure game that received universal acclaim upon its release. It features an immersive world, engaging gameplay, impressive graphics, and well-written story. The game's non-linear exploration, puzzle-solving, and fast-paced combat make it a must-play for fans of the genre.
I feel like you're throwing me for a loop here. That one sounds more AI generated than the other 2.
Oh boy, does it!
Would you put? I think it has to be number 3. That's the AI generated one.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yep. I thought this one was a gimme. I was like, I can't believe you actually thought the AI would write number 1.
Okay, for context, before we started recording, you entered in Metroid Prime review, but it's a poem, and it got that perfectly. Do you have that up still? You should read it.
I don't think I do.
Read a snippet of that because it was so good.
Oh no! It refreshed the page. It's all gone.
Oh, it was so good. It rhymed. It was very poetic. Okay, well, what's funny here is that you and I both took opposite approaches. For Ocarina of Time, you picked some negative reviews. I did the same thing for Metroid.
Yeah, I figured.
So I did user reviews for this one because, there weren't negative
user reviews.
Yeah. This was going to be a twist. That's why it was my last one. But I'm doing it now because it fits.
That's like cheating. Oh man, I should use all my user reviews for Ocarina of Time. There's some good ones.
Also, Metroid Prime is so good that there aren't negative critic reviews. I couldn't find anything negative.
It was actually surprisingly easy to find that one negative review for Ocarina of Time, but that was the only one from a legit source.
Yeah.
It wasn't a mind game. That's why I had one positive. It's because I couldn't find more negative.
Okay.
At least that weren't user reviews, essentially, yeah.
0 out of 10. Metroid Prime is an absolute disaster of a game. The controls are clunky and unresponsive. The graphics look like they were made for the N64. And the story is non-existent. It's like playing a game designed by a drunk chimpanzee. The so-called puzzle solving is nothing more than tedious backtracking through bland, uninspired environments. The enemies are boring and lack variety. Honestly, I would rather gouge my eyes out with a spoon than play this travesty of a game again. Avoid this game at all costs.
I mean, this is someone who needs medical help. They need professional help.
Oh, it doesn't get better, let me tell you.
Because they're insane.
Number 2, 0 stars. No, I cannot say goodbye, Halo, you stupid moron. Where is the multiplayer? Where's the Game of the Year award? The game is incredible, but nothing compared to the classics like Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, or Halo. But really the only problem with this game is that the controls are weird. But since the GameCube controller is not designed for FPS, I congratulate Nintendo on the effort. Great game. The 0 is just to get the attention of the idiot who said it was better than Halo. Huh. How specific did I get with the AI, Mike?
Yeah, well, I bet you got pretty specific.
And lastly, 2 stars. The game made me feel like a rat in a maze, rather than a person exploring an unknown land. I also hated the way they started you out with all this great equipment, and then they take it away from you. It gives the player nothing to look forward to. You've already experienced items like the Charge Beam and Morph Ball, so obtaining them once again isn't really satisfying. It feels more like a job. And
this is either someone that doesn't realize you unlock new things, or it's an AI that doesn't know you unlock new things.
Didn't play the game. I was so tempted to write a Metroid Prime review, a negative Metroid Prime review, as if you never played it. I was really tempted, but I didn't do that.
Did you say things like write a review as if you played it?
I'm not going to tell you what I put in because I feel like that may give it away. Okay, first off, all of these sound very legit like people. all of these, because they're just so crazy. This user score is a little cheap, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah,
but the fact that
priming the AI to sound like a psychopath like the rest of these.
Yeah, but the fact that it sounds so human and insane is crazy. It's crazy.
Read the first sentence of all 3.
Metroid Prime is an absolute disaster of a game. No, I cannot say goodbye to Halo, you stupid moron. And the game made me feel like a rat in a maze.
I'm gonna go with not what I was originally thinking. Nope, I forgot all logic and reasoning. So instead of using logic and reasoning, I got
random number generator.
ring up.
What's happening? What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. It's telling me how to generate a random number, and it's like so long. I'm gonna go with whatever one had Halo in it.
The AI was the first one.
Dang it, that's what I was going to say.
Metroid Prime is an absolute disaster of a game.
I changed my mind at the last moment.
I would rather gouge my eyes out with a spoon than play this travesty of a game again. Is a line that the AI put in. I cried. I was laughing so hard. I was like, it's too real. Sounds like you talking about Ocarina of Time. It sounds exactly like you.
Oh man,
It's like a game designed by a drunk chimpanzee. Okay, here's what I primed it with. Write a very negative user review for Metroid Prime. Use creative insults and give the game a rating. and that's what it did.
Man, I was so close to saying number one, and then I decided it seems like you to say Halo is better than Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
and
that does
change my mind at the last moment.
Yeah, maybe a little cheap. Micah, I might give you half a point for this one. All right, half a point because I used user review score.
I'm trying to
switch yours.
Change my.
What's your last one? What's your last one?
Echo the Dolphin.
Oh yeah. Are there user reviews for Echo the Dolphin?
Yes. In fact, it was very hard to find not user reviews.
Oh, well, if you want to swap, you could swap to user reviews for Echo.
I mean, it's too late. I don't want to find stuff.
Okay. Give me what you got for Echo the Dolphin.
1 second. I gotta.
Also, can we just talk about how absolutely insane the Halo guy was in mine, and then how absolutely insane the heat the wet myself guy was in yours? Yeah. The Metroid Prime reviews get weird on both ends.
I can't believe that was supposedly like an actual critic said those things.
I almost wet
and
myself.
It's so true that like those things he mentions are such good touches to the game.
Yeah. But I feel like he got a little bit weird describing them.
Yeah, a little weird. I almost didn't do it because of that, but I decided it was too good. Okay, where did my page? Oh, here it is. Okay, Echo the Dolphin. Echo the Dolphin is a must-play for any Sega fan. The graphics are top-notch, and the gameplay is seamless. The storyline may be a bit confusing, but it adds to the charm. The music is also fantastic. A true classic.
Ooh, that's good.
Echo the Dolphin is an action-adventure game, but it has some fairly complex puzzle-solving elements and is nothing like most action-adventure games before or since.
That's the end? That's the end of that review? Okay.
That's the end of the second one, by the way.
Yeah. No, I heard the pause that time.
Okay, all three of my Echo the Dolphin ones I kept real short.
Nice.
Echo the Dolphin has a brilliant storyline, astonishing level of detail, fast responsiveness, challenging difficulty, and a more than exceptional replay value.
Why are you reading this one so much weirder than the others?
One of the best games on the system. I just like to point out the word indefinably one of the best games on the system.
That has to be.
I don't know if I've ever seen that word in my life. I double checked. I think I I looked it up to make sure it was actually what I thought it was, because I'd never seen indefinably.
Yeah, I guess number 3 is the AI.
You guess number 3 is the AI. Is that your
Yes.
final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Oh,
It was. You got a second guess? I mean,
I've already
this one's
forgotten the other
50.
2. 3.
Well, I'll read the first 3 words of each.
Okay.
Echo the dolphin, echo the dolphin, and echo the dolphin.
That's so dumb. I probably would guess the first one.
Yeah, the first one was the.
Okay. Dang. Okay, so I got 2 out of 3. You're at 1.5 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm at.
So you got a chance.
One-ish with potential Andross cheated points.
Yeah. It depends on how you do here, whether that point counts or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might count as 1.1 points because you cheated. You never know.
Okay. So this is a review, 3 reviews actually, for Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Wow.
And you may recognize it. You may recognize these reviews because they are famous, infamous, maybe.
I have a feeling I won't actually, though.
Okay, number 1. As a 3D remake, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby do a fantastic job of reintroducing Hoenn, the region. Hoenn. I think that's how you pronounce that. It sounds weird when I say it out loud. Okay. Little details, like characters turning their heads to look at you as you pass or flocks of Wingull flying overhead, make the region really come to life. And small updates and tweaks help make the journey smoother. Still, a few of its flaws are even more glaring in 3D, especially the excess water Pokemon and often dull navigation of their habitats. The added online features could help mitigate some of the type imbalances. I'm a huge fan of Wonder Trade, and there are even a few post-game surprises to encourage you to keep training well beyond the 25-hour main story. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire introduces updates and a gorgeous view of Hoenn, but a clearer view reveals its dated holdovers. Pros, gorgeous details, post-game content, and some smart updates. Cons, too much water, too many HMs. That's review 1. These are long, by the way.
Too much water. I want to know what you prompted this AI with afterwards.
Number 2. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire is a solid entry in the long-running series, offering a familiar yet enjoyable experience for both veterans and newcomers. The game's 3D graphics and revamped visuals give the Hoenn region a fresh new look. But the game still retains the traditional turn-based battle system that fans know and love. The inclusion of new Mega Evolutions adds an extra layer of strategy to battles. However, the game does have its fair share of issues. One major drawback is the abundance of water routes and caves, which can be tedious to navigate. Additionally, the story doesn't offer much in terms of innovation or surprise. In summary, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire is a solid RPG that offers a lot of content, but it also has some tedious elements and a lack of storyline innovation. Pros: 3D graphics and revamped visuals, new Mega Evolutions, traditional turn-based battle systems. Cons: too much water routes and caves, lack of storyline innovation. And number 3. Pokemon Omega Ruby Sapphire is a very good remake. Its problem is that the game it's updating doesn't really deserve the attention. It's a shame the overworld still doesn't have a 3D effect, but we assume that's a technical limitation given the frame rate during battles. But despite that, the game still looks great, and the new gimmick of being able to physically fly around the world in something that looks like a modern take on an old Mode 7 SNES game is good fun. In short, it's a perfectly good 3D remake of Ruby and Sapphire, the only problem being that Ruby and Sapphire were never that great. And this is still not as good as the recent X and Y. Pros: The same endlessly addictive and deceptively deep gameplay as always. A lot of effort has gone into the remakes in terms of graphics and extra features. Flying on the back of a Pokemon is fun. Cons. Despite all the changes and additions, all of Ruby and Sapphire's core faults are retained. Very little of note that isn't already in X and Y. Still no 3D effect for the overworld. These are long reviews, so
Yeah,
hopefully you can
that's your
retain.
news strategy. They're all so long, I don't remember what was said in any of them.
All right, so the first one,
I didn't recognize any of these reviews. Too much water sounds familiar.
yeah, it's a meme. The meme is too much water.
So it seems like something you'd prompt the AI to say, but it's weird that one of them doesn't mention there's too much water.
Huh, yeah, weird.
Huh. But like the classic multiple choice tests, if two answers are very similar, obviously one of them is the correct answer. Or are you playing mind games?
Oh, man.
I have no idea on this one.
This one is hard. I made this hard.
How long was your prompt? How many words did you use to prompt your AI? Not counting the name of the game, I guess, because it's like Alpha, Omega, Ruby, Sapphire, or something weird. You're still counting, huh?
$24. But for context, the Metroid Prime one is $14. So it's not much longer than that.
Huh. I think my longest was like 7. I had the name of the game, and then I either put negative. Most of them I didn't put anything.
Yeah, well, in my prompt,
just
there are
very
a
short.
lot of short words like a, as, and.
True. That makes sense. I just cut out
where
all
Metroid
those.
Prime doesn't have that. You just cut those out. You're like,
I mean, I
review.
just did Echo the Dolphin, very short review is all I
Yeah.
put in. Now that I've remembered even less about them, read the first sentence of all 3 again.
Number 1 is, as a 3D remake, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby do a fantastic job of reintroducing Hoenn. Number 2,
Not bad.
Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby is a solid entry in the long-running series, offering a familiar yet enjoyable experience for both veterans and newcomers. And number 3 was Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is a very good remake. Let me give you their pro-cons list, because each of these have a pro-cons list. Number 1,
Okay.
pros, gorgeous details, post-game content, and some smart updates. Cons, too much water, too many HMs. 2, pros, 3D graphics and revamped visuals, new mega evolutions, traditional turn-based battle system. Cons, too much water routes and caves, and a lack of storyline innovation. 3, pros, the same endlessly addictive and deceptively deep gameplay as always. A lot of effort has gone into making the remake in terms of graphics and extra features. Flying on the back of a Pokemon is fun. Cons, despite all the changes and additions, all of Ruby Sapphire's core faults are retained. Very little of note that isn't already in X and Y. Still no 3D effect for the overworld.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with 2. Even those sentences are so long, I forgot what was said in the first one.
You're right. That's the
I knew
AI.
it. I knew it all along. I could feel it. I could feel it in my bones.
Here's the prompt. Write a 1-paragraph review of Pokemon Alpha Sapphire as if you are an IGN editor. Include a pros cons list and complain about too much water. And the first review is the review by IGN that complains about too much water. It does it so good. It's like the same review. They're so similar.
For real though, they were hard to tell apart. The IGN one said something about too many HMs. Is that just because you had to like remember too many not good moves, I guess, to like traverse the map?
Yeah,
Because I
Well,
figured, I was
and
like,
this
you know what,
comes-
that kind of makes sense.
this
I feel like
comes-
that's something a person would not enjoy.
After the X and Y came out, which had less HMs, and they did more of like, ride Pokemon. But it's a remake of a game that had the most HMs in the series previously, so they actually pared it down. The thing I thought would throw you off is that in 2, they mentioned Mega Evolutions. I didn't prompt it to do that.
I don't even remember them mentioning Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, that's one of the pros. That was one of the pros. They said 3D graphics and revamped visuals, and new Mega Evolutions.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
That's how I knew. I was like, this is something Andross wouldn't prompt the AI to say, but the AI would know. It's too specific.
So there you have it, folks. Reviews. I mean, this like nailed it. Now these are all for old games. I don't know if it could do this for new games. In fact, I don't think it can.
Anything potentially it'd have to be before 2016, I think, right?
Yeah, because it's reading from data sets from prior. It's not 2016. It's 2021 is the latest.
Oh, the 2021. Oh,
Mhm. So,
much later than I thought for some reason.
Yeah. Anywho, that makes you the winner because you got 2.5 points and I got 2 points. So with that, Micah wins. Micah, yay! You did it.
What cool things do I win?
You are human. Good job. You can spot the AI. I thought this was super fun.
Okay.
Chat GPT is here.
Yeah, if we do something like this again, I gotta get a little more creative with my my prompts. That user review one was so good.
I gouged my eyes out with the spoon.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. It just sounded so insane that I felt like you had to have just prompted it with something crazy. But then that Halo tricked me. You got me good with that.
Alrighty, I'm gonna say right.
Also, if you type things like insult Ocarina of Time, it's like I don't insult things, which is kind of cool. But it will say stuff about how it would rather gouge its own eyeballs out.
When you say write a negative, well, because I told it to write from the perspective of a negative user, not as itself.
Yeah.
So
that's smart.
Anybody wanting to check this out, ChatGPT is available and free to use for the time being. That is chat.openai.com. Check it out. It's cool. It's cool software. Interesting stuff. You can have it generate so many different things. And that will wrap up our show. So, Micah, where can people find you on the internet?
Find me at Micah Prime on Twitch and YouTube.
And you can find me at Andross1 on Twitch and YouTube. And you can also find the show on YouTube, Nintendo Pals, and Nintendo Pals everywhere. You can just look us up. If you want to support the show, you can check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/NintendoPals, where for as little as $3 a month, you can support the show and get exclusive behind-the-scenes looks, as well as access to the show Nintendo Pals Plus, where we talk about whatever, anything and everything. With that, let's close out here with the Patreon Poke Rap. The way we shout out our wonderful patrons on our show is through this, our outro song.
We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retrologic Day, U-Dog Gamer, Schlim, Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
K-Man Katina, Third Strongest One, Tim the Nintendo Title, and Seth Sturge of Monkey Thunder, Purple Yoas, Dat Fast John, and Lava Plays 2.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah,
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, Patreon. Let's get 150 or more, yeah, please. To be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening, and we will talk to you next episode. Bye-bye.